Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your Royal Rumble 2025 predictions. I say your because I gave you the ability to submit whatever Royal Rumble 2025 predictions that you might have over on X. Whether it's who's gonna win, surprise returns, debuts, Final Four, Iron Man, I wanted to hear it all. So we're gonna go over a bunch of your responses and I'm gonna give you my honest to God opinion on them. By the way, if you do want to be part of these types of videos in the future, make sure that you follow me on X. The link is in the description. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I'm really confident that you're going to fall in love with this YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. And don't forget, if you want even more than just daily wrestling content, to come over to the Patreon, patreon.com/SantiZap. Over there, you're going to get so much more extra content that we never upload on YouTube, like our entire watch along of every single Royal Rumble match to date. That's all on the Patreon. So go check it out. Link in the description, link in the pinned comment. Let's start the video. Sami Zayn will come out during Cody and Kevin's match and have to decide with a chair shot to Cody or Kevin. Unlike the 2023 Rumble, Sami this time will hit Kevin and help Cody retain. Listen, fellas, I gotta be honest with you here for a second. 99.9% of the time that I receive fantasy booking from you guys, it's utterly terrible. It's dog water. However, I'm happy to announce that this is not one of those situations. Alex, take a bow. I absolutely love this fantasy booking. I love this idea to the point where this is exactly what I want to see happen. Not only do I love this from a narrative point of view, it actually makes sense. The path to get to this actually exists because of the recent interaction that we just had between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Not only do I think that this would be a great way to execute the ending of Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes, but this would also be a brilliant way to set up their WrestleMania match at WrestleMania 41. I love everything about this. I hope something like this happens. Randy comes back and costs Cody Rhodes the title and Kevin Owens wins. So I am expecting Randy Orton to make his presence felt in some way, shape, or form. However, it doesn't really make a heck of a lot of sense for him to attack Cody Rhodes instead of attacking Kevin Owens, the guy that tried to end his career with the pile driver. So I don't see the execution of this happening exactly like how you're playing it out, but I absolutely see Randy Orton getting himself involved in this match. I also don't see Randy Orton in this year's Rumble match. The rumors about his speedy recovery have to be true. He's gonna have a 2008 Cena-like return at the Rumble, except he won't be winning. LOL. This would be an awesome little surprise because I genuinely wasn't expecting Ilya Dragunov until after WrestleMania. If you were to make this miraculous comeback, that would be so cool. It would be Cena-like, but I would agree with you. Even if he does make this miraculous Cena-like return like Cena did in 2008, I don't see Ilya Dragunov winning the Rumble, unlike Cena in 2008. Goldberg wins the Rumble and challenges Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Real graps, brother. Okay, so I know that you're memeing, but I hate that you're putting this out into the universe even as a possibility. I do not even want to think about the idea of Gunther versus Goldberg for the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't want to see it. I don't want it. Don't give it to me. Keep it away from me. However, I do weirdly expect Goldberg to be in this year's Royal Rumble match, predominantly because they've been hyping the men's Rumble specifically as being the most stacked Rumble in the history of Rumbles. And adding Goldberg, I know a lot of people don't love him, but adding Goldberg would help further solidify that narrative that this is the most stacked, most competitive Royal Rumble match in the history of the game. With the Royal Rumble full of superstars as it is, I think it would be awesome that the internet champion finally makes his long-awaited return. Matt Cardona has been at like the top of my wish list for literal years at this point for him to make a return at the Royal Rumble, and year after year after year, I am left holding the bag, entirely disappointed that he didn't come back at the Royal Rumble. He does have incredibly strong ties to TNA, and TNA does have incredibly strong ties with the WWE, so maybe the path, the yellow brick road has been set out for the return of Matt Cardona at the Rumble. I'm still betting against it if I'm a betting man, but if it were to happen, I would be incredibly hyped and incredibly happy. If it does happen, please keep him as Matt Cardona. I feel like Zack Ryder just needs to die. This man has absolutely earned the right with how much work he has done in the independent circuit to use the name that he himself made famous, Matt Cardona. Nikki Bella wins the Rumble. Many of you might be laughing, but stop laughing, all right? Because it's not an impossibility, because there are very strong rumors that Nikki Bella is going to be making a full-time return to the WWE as an in-ring competitor. You heard me right, a full-time in-ring competitor, and they loved historically Nikki Bella winning things, and she she is one of those legends that has not won the Royal Rumble. Maybe there's a possibility. Personally, it's not something that I would like to see, but don't laugh at the idea because it could legitimately maybe happen. I believe that Joe Hendry, Jeff Hardy, and Nick Nemeth will all appear in the Rumble and will be on WWE TV periodically in the future. So I could see one of them being in the Rumble. I just can't see 3 TNA signed talent taking up space in the Royal Rumble match when there are so many men that are going to be left off of the Rumble match even while being signed to the WWE because the roster is so ridiculously stacked. I just don't think that it would be fair to take up 3 slots from 3 guys that don't even officially work for the WWE. Again, I can see one of those, but not all 3. Jade will return. I agree with this statement. I think that Jade Cargill is very, very likely to return at the Rumble. And if she does return at the Rumble, okay, I want you to mark my words here. If she does return at the Rumble, she is the favorite to win. I really believe that if she returns at the Rumble, there is a really strong likelihood that she is going to win the whole damn thing, and they're going to build up to a major match versus whoever it is that attacked her at WrestleMania, or maybe it's a full-blown triple threat between the big 3, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi. But I really believe that she is a massive threat to the Women's Rumble if she does return. And I do genuinely see her returning, by the way. Alexa Bliss comes back and eliminates Liv Morgan and sets up a feud for WrestleMania. So this is interesting for a couple of reasons. There's rumors circulating that Alexa's coming back, and then there's rumors circulating that the return has been halted. So like people don't really know what's going on with Alexa Bliss anymore. But another question is, what are we doing with Liv Morgan going towards WrestleMania? Maybe going into the world title picture? A lot of people don't see that at this year's WrestleMania. So that kind of leaves her open to do other things. And I feel like a feud with Alexa Bliss would be pretty cool. The Rock comes out at spot 31. This would be the coolest shit that WWE could possibly do at this year's Rumble. If they buck the trend, if it's not 30, if all 30 come out and then one more countdown happens, the marks around the world would collectively lose their mind. The pop would be insane because people want this to happen. People want The Rock to use and abuse his power as a board member of TKO to insert himself into the Men's Royal Rumble. I want to see this. I know you most likely want to see this. This would be super hype, and I don't think that it's an impossibility for it to happen. Okay, hear me out. The Rock enters at number 31. He flexes his power of being in the board, enters the Rumble with the sole purpose of eliminating Roman Reigns. Once that's done, he smiles, throws himself over the top rope, and leaves. Roman versus Rock set for WrestleMania 41. So that would, in my opinion, be a dream scenario because that would be setting up Rock and Roman without the need for the title while allowing somebody else to win the Rumble and give us more main event feuds with all of these insane names that we have in this Rumble going into WrestleMania. This is actually like a dream scenario for me. The likelihood of it happening, I don't think it's 100%. I think it's probably below like 50% considering the messaging that we've been getting from The Rock, where it seems like he is kind of out of this narrative. He's already making buddies with Cody Rhodes. He's not at all acknowledging the fact that he used to be this big bad dude in the WWE. But I hope that we can kind of just completely throw that out the window and just start from scratch from where we left off on the night after WrestleMania 40 with the final boss. It's going to be Bloodline Rules. I think that this would be super cool. I just feel like it's too good to be true and it probably won't happen. Carmelo Hayes is going to be the Iron Man in this match. Definitely going to go the distance and maybe make it within the final 10 or so, but get eliminated by a debuting Trick Williams. Okay, so I do absolutely see the vision. I love the idea of Carmelo Hayes being the Iron Man of the WWE, the Iron Man of the Royal Rumble, considering he's been the workhorse of the mid-card and like the upper mid-card for so long since he's come into the WWE main roster. I also love the idea of debuting Trick Williams at the Rumble, interacting with Carmelo Hayes, but I would actually do this the other way around. I would have Carmelo Hayes eliminate Trick Williams. CM Punk wins the Men's Rumble. CM Punk eliminates John Cena for the win. So I feel like many of us are on the same boat regarding John Cena, that Cena's gonna come super close, but that he's not going to win. Here's the thing. Initially, when I read this, I said, there's no way that this is how the Rumble is going to end because this would automatically turn CM Punk into the biggest heel in the business for eliminating Cena. But that didn't turn Cody Rhodes modes into a heel when he eliminated CM Punk at the very end of last year's Royal Rumble to win the whole thing, when Punk was the beloved returning veteran and favorite. So yeah, I guess I could see this being a pretty realistic way for the Rumble to end. Penta has a good showing and has a major stare down with Rey that possibly leads to a Mania match. So if you're going to have Penta and Rey Mysterio at the Rumble, I mean, just make it simple. You need to make them go up against each other. Luchador versus Luchador. This is the match that people want. Maybe they want to save it for Backlash Mexico City. That is a possibility. But in my opinion, this is the match for Penta and the match for Rey Mysterio when you look at the landscape of the roster going into WrestleMania 41. I would love for this to happen. I would love for the first seed to get planted at the Royal Rumble match. I love all of this.
Ooh. Oh, he eliminated himself.
Oh, no, he's out. Oh, BD, we love you. Good luck, BD. Oh, the Penta driver. Oh, God, on the Legos. Oh, Tiffy time. Oh, they did not catch her. Oh, look at the, look at the. Oh, damn. Oh, push tush. Is that? That was a sneak peek of this week's Wrestling is Cool Match Club, which is available exclusively on patreon.com/SantiZap. This week, we're looking at the legendary Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Boys in a ladder match at the Royal Rumble 2000. The wrestling YouTuber BDE taking on AJ Francis. A Mexican death match between Pentagon and Sami Callihan. The six-way ladder match at NXT Stand and Deliver for the NXT Women's Championship. And the three-way tag match from Survivor Series 2002 between Los Guerreros, Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit, and Edge and Rey Mysterio. Oh, and the Elimination Chamber match from New Year's Revolution 2006, the one where that thing happens at the very end. You're gonna get this and more, like the Raw reviews, the SmackDown reviews, the Wrestling is Cool podcast 3 days early, the currently ongoing Royal Rumble watch-alongs, the currently ongoing Undertaker WrestleMania match watch-along, and more. These are all pieces of content that are uploaded exclusively to Patreon and never see the light of day on YouTube because we just simply can't upload them here. I encourage you to even just try it out for 1 month, because if you do, I'm confident that you're going to fall in love with it because of just how much content we pump out over there. Again, that's patreon.com/SantiZap, link in the description, link in the pinned comment. If you're already a patron, thank you for your support. Let's get you back to the video. Randy Orton turns heel by eliminating John Cena, thereby setting up their WrestleMania feud. See, if we didn't have all of this other stuff going on with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, I would actually buy into this, predominantly because we've never had a proper John Cena versus Randy Orton match at WrestleMania. And that to me is still crazy that that match has never officially happened in a one-on-one environment at WrestleMania. I wish it could happen. Maybe it does. But when I look at the environment of the current narratives that we have in place, the current story threads, these two don't align in time for it to happen at WrestleMania 41. I don't think so. Mandy Rose will return. I mean, that would be kind of hype, but I feel like Mandy Rose at this point is more of an NXT name than she is a main roster name. But I guess realistically, if she were to return to the Rumble, I feel like she would get kind of a pop. However, I doubt that she's coming back to the WWE anytime soon. As far as I could probably tell from the outside looking in, she's probably making bank on Fansly or those other websites that she might be on. I fully expect this man to be in the Rumble. Did you need to pick the picture of JBL kicking out the illegal immigrants from like the Ruthless Aggression era? Did we need to use that one? Regardless, I weirdly can see this, although I don't want it. I'm gonna be honest with you, the shtick of the returning legend there to just get a pop for the nostalgia feel, I don't feel like it works as good in 2025 unless they're going to be there to make a proper run, to actually be a threat to win the damn thing, unless they're there to make a full-fledged, full-time return to professional wrestling. I just don't think that it's going to hit as hard in 2025 compared to when we would get these crazy, one-off pops in like the middle of the 2000s or in the 2010s. I could see it. I personally don't want to see it. I'd rather the Rumble spots go to people that could maybe realistically, one, benefit from being in the Rumble because they're full-time employees, or two, actually win the damn thing. Malachi Black will be number 15. Wow, that's incredibly specific. If Malachi Black ends up being number 15, we're going to come back to this tweet, and this man is a time traveler. Aside from the number that he might come out at, I am expecting Aleister Black to be back with the WWE very, very soon, and it could be as early as the Royal Rumble. This is one of the big returns that I'm really, really banking on to make my return Royal Rumble bingo card really fully be a winner. I think that Malachi Aleister Black does return to the WWE, and it happens at the Royal Rumble. I'm going to co-sign this. Maybe not the number 15, but like I really believe that Malachi Aleister is coming back. Big E returns, comes in at number 30 and finishes in the final four. I appreciate people wanting Big E. I don't see it at all. Again, I've said this plenty of times before, so if you're a regular viewer of this channel, this is going to sound like a little bit of a broken record, but I firmly believe that the New Day breaking away from Big E and basically telling the world that the New Day is never going to reunite was another way of telling us that Big E is nowhere near, if ever, going to be returning to WWE as an in-ring competitor. The WWE and the New Day needed to separate themselves from Big E entirely so that this new version of the New Day with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston as heels can actually flourish without the ever-looming presence of when is Big E going to come back. I feel like Big E is not coming back, so I disagree. I don't think this happens. CM Punk's favor is revealed, which is Paul Heyman pulling Roman off the apron to eliminate Reigns and align himself with Punk. I don't see this because this would instantly be a giant heel turn for CM Punk. Granted, CM Punk can be an amazing heel, but right now he is just so over as a babyface. So over that even in a babyface versus babyface feud versus Seth Rollins, he was drowning any sort of Seth Rollins chance with CM Punk chance. Like, this guy is just so incredibly liked and so popular that I just don't see this particular way of the favor being executed being the way. I still think it could be a way to help him win the Rumble, giving him number 30, whatever it might be, but I don't see Paul Heyman straight up betraying Roman Reigns and aligning himself with CM Punk. I don't see it going down like this. This will be the Final Four. This is like the dream Final Four. I mean, I feel like you could swap out Drew McIntyre for Seth Rollins and just sort of pick and choose your poison. Which one do you want the most? But I do personally want Cena in the Final Four. I want that drama of the guy chasing history and glory, the 17th, to come really, really close to maybe getting that big opportunity to win the Rumble, to go to WrestleMania only to lose in the Final Four. But these are the correct names, in my opinion. These are the names that you would want to see in a potential WrestleMania main event. These are the names that if they're in the Final Four, you have no clue who's going to win. Like, legitimately, if this is the Final Four, this might be the most unpredictable Final Four in the history of the Royal Rumble. AJ Lee will return and be in the final three of the Women's Royal Rumble. I would love for this to happen, but kind of similarly to Matt Cardona, people have been predicting this for a really long time, and it continues to burn their predictions bingo cards because it just doesn't happen. It also doesn't seem like there's any indication that she's coming back. I get that CM Punk being in the WWE on its own is an indicator that she could come back, but I still just don't see it happening. I'm going to say no, this doesn't happen. Drew McIntyre eliminates Roman Reigns from the Royal Rumble match. Listen, if Roman doesn't win this thing, if Roman does get eliminated, and it doesn't have anything to do with The Rock, if there are no plans to do The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 41, this is the best possible parachute that you can pull. This is the best possible plan B. Drew McIntyre going after Roman Reigns and doing it so on the biggest stage of them all would be perfect. And the best way to set that up would be for one of them to eliminate each other. I also don't hate the idea of Roman eliminating Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, when no one's watching, slides back in and hits Roman with a Claymore to set up for somebody to eliminate Roman Reigns. I would love for that to be the case as well. Again, if not Rock versus Roman, then I'll take Roman versus Drew. All right, folks, thank you so much for submitting in your Royal Rumble predictions. You'll get my official predictions later on in a couple of days, but I'm excited for the Rumble. I hope you are too. And don't forget that you can watch the Rumble with us here on YouTube or over on Twitch during our watch party. But that's it. I'm done. Get out of here.